tell them it's so for the broken. 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 Tell them it's so for the broken. Yeah. It's so for the broken. Yeah. It's so for the broken. Yeah. It's so for the broken. Boy, look around, we need hope. No question about it, can't get around the hope.
Welcome to another edition of Healing Broken Souls. I'm Johnny.
I'm Taisha.
I'm Drea.
And we's Benny.
Could you say that a little bit louder?
We's Benny.
Okay. And so today we're going to talk about social media and how people are putting out all their dirty laundry and their drama out there.
Well, let's not say dirty laundry. How about
unwanted?
Unhealthy information.
No matter how you
It's
wrap
dirty.
it up, it's still the same thing. You know, you can't sugarcoat it all the time.
All right.
When you unwrap it, it's still gonna be dirty.
You know? But we're seeing how people are putting out things that shouldn't be out there on social media and things that should be talked about in privacy or in counseling or whatever. Yeah, and they're doing it for the very wrong reasons. What do you guys think about that?
That is correct. I do agree.
Attention.
Yeah.
I want somebody to feel sorry for me, or let me post all my business, and then when someone comments, oh, let me get so mad. Well, why did you put it for everybody to see? Thank you.
That's what happens. Okay, so my question is, why is social media the first thing people run to?
Attention. Mm-hmm. Ooh, look at me. Look at me. I'm going through something right now.
Confetti.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. And they don't want to fix it themselves. Let me go and,
Just tell the world.
Yes.
Do you think that we have found our identity more on what people say in our like column or comment column versus our actual friends that we talk with on a regular basis?
In this day and age, yep.
I think the raunchier it is, the more attention it gets.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
And social media is just a platform for people to hide behind. Like, your friends know you. So when you put something on there and, you know, your friends be like, oh, don't comment on there. They're just attention seeking.
The strange thing that I've noticed is that it has no age limit to it.
No.
It has absolutely no age limit. I'm not a social media person. We use this platform to try to help people, whatever the case may be. We try to have a little fun with it as well. But the more and more I hear about it is from every age group of intelligent thinking people from 9 all the way up to 80.
Not 80. You 80, you don't need no social media.
If I got family, you know, across the state.
You know, my thing is, you know, I don't think people need to know what you having for breakfast or what you don't got on.
Yes.
Okay? I think,
Or you don't need to take a picture because you're helping someone. I thought you should be helping someone because that's what you want to do. Not, oh, you're hungry, let me give you something to eat, but I got to get a picture in it too.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's...
You know, I think personally, you know, I try to be mindful of what I say and do and what I allow for me to be put on social media, because I know they're monitoring this stuff. All you have to do, now I'm not talking about Facebook or any of these other platforms, but I know if I go into a Google search and I'm searching like a watch, I guarantee you, if I open up YouTube, the first thing gonna be
is that watch that you were searching for.
Or you even having a conversation with someone about a watch. Mm-hmm. And then bam, where is these advertisements coming from? The same thing I was just talking about.
Yes. Another thing is sometimes, you know, certain situations happen and people go to social media, you know, and they ask for unspoken prayers. I don't take that as attention seeking or,
right.
You know, putting something out there. Like you're just asking for your support team and your warriors to pray.
But you have to be careful, because I don't want just everybody praying for me. I've learned that the older I get.
That's why you don't accept everybody on social media. They ain't my friend. I don't know you.
Well, the one thing I think social media does have a benefit for is for a person that's crying for help. Whether it's a life-threatening help, a cry for a potential suicide, or a cry because they're in danger from some type of abuse or threat. I see the benefit in it of it from that aspect. But then there's also this unhealthiness that is growing more than the positive cries that's being made out.
We're seeing a empowerment with social media because we're not afraid to say whatever we want on social media. We have the boldness because the person's not directly in front of us.
Yeah, you get to hide.
Yeah,
And so
see that a lot.
we can take and say whatever we want without the repercussions of being face to face with the person and seeing their body language and seeing how it impacts them or doesn't impact them. And we can just wipe our hands from it and say, doesn't matter to me.
Until you see that person face to face.
Or you read in the next morning's obituary that they commit suicide because of the thoughtlessness that you put out there.
I have learned growing up, putting things on there that I shouldn't have. But I have learned that it's so much energy, especially if you're on there going back and forth with somebody because you're not face to face with them. You know how much typing that is?
This is why you have that voice thing that you can just type it in there with your voice.
Sometimes that don't come out right, but it just takes a lot of energy, and at some point, it gets old.
But have you ever thought about all the hurting people that are trying to use social media and people make fun of them or disregard them or not take them seriously? I've seen the ethics and the morality, and I am not a social media person. The only social media I use on a regular basis is YouTube. I look for shoes, cars, and watches. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's it. That's about far as I'm going.
I do some social media, and like I'm on this platform for pastors, and you would think that would be a safe place, to be able, because it was created for pastors to come in and share about their struggles and everything. But even with that, it was supposed to be that safe, wonderful, encouraging environment. But we see so many times where you share something and then half of the realm is totally against you and they're judging you and they're commenting on you in a negative way because of this and that, and your beliefs are whacked out and everything else. And then the other ones are like, going alongside saying amen and throwing confetti.
So how do you help hurting people that want to use and feel they need to use social media do it effectively?
I think first of all, you got to have boundaries. When I say boundaries, you have to determine what you allow in your media page or whatever. So I have a Facebook page, and I do my very best to not have anything that's sexual, nothing that is commercialized, nothing that is going against uplifting people. If there's any sort of negativity, that person is blocked or that group is blocked, because I don't want somebody to look at my page and say, why is Pastor John allowing this on their page, type thing. And when it comes to individuals, we set up the boundaries and say, I don't want to talk about this sort of thing because this is where we should be face to face more so than over the internet.
Yeah, like don't tag me in certain stuff on Facebook, because I went and, I had to change my settings. So if people tag me in something, I got to approve it first before it go to my page, because not everything needs to be on there.
And I just try to have nothing but positive people on my posts. I don't want to see, you arguing with this person every day. Your life is always bad, it's always negative. Like it, because that can almost, I don't want to say ruin your day, but you seeing that all the time. You don't always want to see something negative.
I think where a lot of people are is, like you said, they don't have any boundaries. So first they need to set boundaries, and then they need to think before they type. Like, you should be aware of what you're putting out there. And
words are powerful.
Yeah.
And
you can't take them back once they're said. Once they're typed, they're out in the world.
But I also think that we have to learn to not take our identity from social media. We've lost the art of having sit down, face-to-face conversations and just talking and just hearing one another.
Now you said something I can chime in on. I think, even in the field of therapy, we have gone to this telehealth model that a lot of people are using, and
I don't like them.
Amen.
And for the most part, it's good for those who cannot reach a local office or a facility. They don't have the means, like transportation or a car, gas, or whatever, money to get there. Those instances are there. And in other instances, we have to be careful how, as therapists, we use telehealth. How do we set boundaries with our patients that's at home in the comfort of their home, but they're coming inappropriately dressed, even to that session, just because they're home, they don't dress appropriately. We have to keep them as healthy as possible. There has to be some boundaries even with that. But I think that the 3D effect, to me, I'm a therapist, to me is the best approach than the 2D effect, but I do telehealth as well for those people that cannot make it into the office, or, they may have some type of social anxiety or whatever the case may be, some type of phobia. And in those instances, that's understandable. But sometimes people use this service just because they don't want to get up in the morning and come out to their sessions, and we have to be mindful of that as well.
Well, if you look at COVID, everybody was shut down during that time period where we had to rely on the communications. I remember our churches being closed, and we had to do the sermons in an empty congregation and put it over the airways because COVID was so severe and rampant at the time, and we didn't have the clear understanding.
And people got comfortable with COVID and watching church on social media. And so, that was the thing.
When we started using social media here at the church, we started it for those that could not make it into the church.
Right. The sick and shut in.
The sick and the shut in. And then when COVID came, it exacerbated the need to have it a little bit more. And I once thought, hey, let's be done with this social media thing. I'm not going to say I'm a big proponent of it, but I know it reaches a lot of people. But at the same time, we had a strong, healthy conversation about it. And they said, so are we going to punish those who really need the service because of a few bad apples? Most people get their information or disinformation through social media. I heard a report this past week that because of the health of our political culture in America, that when the hurricane went through Florida and the Carolinas, that more unhealthy information, disinformation went across about FEMA than ever before, and people are believing it. And I really didn't pay it any attention until I was in another setting and people were actually talking about it. And they were talking about it and they were believing it. And they were believing it. And so unhealthy people getting unhealthy information is my concern.
Right. And we normally take what is on social media as quote unquote gospel. If it's on there, it's got to be right, And you've heard the memes say, if it's on Google.
Wait, stop. What's a meme? I'm hearing y'all say this. What's a meme?
A meme is like a picture or a little video clip that tells a little message about something.
Oh, geez.
Okay? And so, yeah. And so, they would say that, if it said it on Google, then it must be real. Everything's right on the internet. And it's like, that's the farthest thing.
Google, you're going to die.
But getting back to your statement, social media in itself is what is called amoral. It doesn't cause us to sin, and it doesn't cause us not to sin. It's how we use it that makes the platform what it is. And like you were just sharing, with the political stuff going on and using FEMA as that example, people are using it as a weapon more so than a tool.
And it's not just political.
Right.
It's personal. It's social. It's religious. It's in every facet of our lives.
And it can be dangerous.
It can be.
Oh, yeah.
And just as many people are looking at social media, and some of this social media stuff tends to lead people to hurt themselves. Okay, if you are you're having depression, anxiety, some trauma event, call 911, call suicide helpline, call your nearest hospital, but go get some help. Don't try to get help through a social media app.
Yeah,
Right.
what are they? Cyberbullying, is that what they call it? Yeah, that's what a lot of kids go through, and I think it's very bad.
Yeah, and one of the things that I know here in Indiana, kids aren't even allowed to take their phones in the class anymore.
Well, I know they stopped that at the high school.
And I, for one, am glad.
Yes, I'm throwing confetti for
Yeah,
that.
I am
because
glad that they're spending less time on the phones and more time in the classroom.
They need some books. I hurt their back like they hurt our back.
Well, they also need the art of conversation.
Yeah.
Being able to talk face to face with someone.
Yeah. So what are we saying? Social media has its good, social media has its bad. It all depends on how you use it. They used to say television was the hallmark of the destruction of the mind when it first came out. There was a 1940 movie called Reefer Madness, and was talking about the epidemic of cannabis back then. And if you haven't seen Reefer Madness compared to what we have today, it's kind of funny, but it's kind of scary how people thought about it. And they felt that way about television, and television has grown progressively unhealthy as well. So we can't stop there. Another media route is music. You can't stop there. So it's not just YouTube, Facebook. What's Twitter called now?
X.
I didn't even know that.
I don't know how to use it, so I deleted it.
I don't know. I don't either. But we have all these technological advancements, but we have more unhealthy people using them.
And not only that, we have people adding in artificial intelligence, where they now can take our voices, manipulate the words, and they can say whatever they want. They could have our pictures and images all on that. And it's been proven already that there's been people who have had different things said, and it wasn't the real person who said it, but it was all artificial
Scammers are
intelligence.
doing that now. They
Yes.
call your phone and they get your voice, and then they use that and they do whatever they want with it.
Yeah, like one of the biggest scams is they will call and say that they are your relative, that they're in jail and they need someone to come
Oh, wow.
and send them money for bail.
Yeah, and I just seen this movie about scammers. This lady got scammed out of all her money that she worked hard for, and she did stuff online. So when she opened her laptop, they put something on her computer, and then she had to call this number, and it was the scammers, and they said, well, we need you to send us this money, and we'll fix this problem for you. And then they took all her money, and she committed suicide.
Yeah. So we have to be careful. I see our studio man is turning off all our lights. So one thing I definitely want us to understand is that social media does have its good. I know we're going to get a lot of responses, probably some unhealthy responses, but all we're trying to do is to alert people that may be hurting and may be needing some help, that maybe social media may not be the healthiest route for you. There are still outlets that you can go to, the 911, the suicide prevention, the abuse hotline. All these are still available to you, that you can still go out and get the help that you need. And if it's a mental health issues or crisis, addiction, you can still call your local community mental health center, CMHC, and ask for an appointment. They will help you as well.
And I also hope that there may be somebody that sees this or hears this, that as they see the impact of their words and their actions with social media, that if they're doing things that they know they shouldn't, that they'll turn away from it, that they will stop when they realize that they're more powerful than what they realize. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, you know, it's much easier to say that I was wrong and turn from that than it is to say, you know, after somebody's committed suicide or harmed themselves or took somebody else's life, to be able to say, well, you know, did my words influence that?
All right, we're going to close here.
All righty.
Last words of encouragement.
Last words of encouragement. Just don't give in. You know, try to stay true to yourself, and there's always an outlet that you can call on to. There's always a number you can call. Just at least try for yourself. You got to make that first step.
I just want to say, don't use social media for the bad at all. Just, if you're going to put something out there, just make sure it's positive.
And I just want to encourage everybody to know and understand that it can be a very helpful tool, as Benny was saying earlier. But if you are going through something, please reach out, talk to somebody. If you're being cyberbullied or whatever, let somebody know so that they can help you to understand that what may or may not be said on social media doesn't mean that you can't get the help that you deserve.
That's right.
And take every threat of harm seriously.
Amen.
Take every threat of harm seriously and know that there is help for you. You know, there are many people out there that want to help you in and out of the church. So take every threat seriously. All right, God bless you. God be with you. We'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye.
Look around, we need hope. Dark world, we need hope. Broke world, we need hope. We all need hope, need hope, need hope. Look around, we need hope. Broke world, we need hope. We all need hope. But tell them it's hope for the broken. 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 Tell them it's hope for the broken. Yeah, it's hope for the broken. Yeah, it's hope for the broken. Yeah, it's hope for the broken. Boy, look around, we need hope. No question about it, can't get around, the whole world around us need hope.